Ahead on CBN NewsWatch, round 2, Supreme Court nominee Neil Gorsuch faces another day of questioning on Capitol Hill. See what's ahead in the confirmation process. Plus, replacing the Affordable Care Act. See how President Trump is rallying support for the GOP healthcare plan. And getting your baby to get to sleep so you can get some rest. We hear from a top pediatrician who is debunking the myths about babies and sleep. Thank you so much for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Ephraim Graham. It is the tale of 2 hearings on Capitol Hill. Supreme Court nominee Neil Gorsuch facing tough questions from Senate Democrats today on day 2 of his confirmation hearings. On the House side, FBI Director James Comey takes to the stand to testify before the Intelligence Committee about Russia's activities to influence the 2016 election. CBN's Jenna Browder reports now from Washington.
In my decade on the bench, I've tried to treat all who come before me fairly and with respect.
After more than 3 hours of listening, Supreme Court nominee Neil Gorsuch finally spoke at his confirmation hearing, touting his family and Colorado roots.
To my teenage daughters watching out west, bathing chickens for the county fair, devising ways to keep our determined pet goat out of the garden.
Monday was the first of 4 days of hearings for Gorsuch, who's likely to carry on the conservative legacy of the late Justice Antonin Scalia. Republican senators stressed the importance of this appointment.
Arguably the most important thing the U.S. Senate will do this year is confirm the next Supreme Court justice.
Still upset about former President Obama's High Court nominee, Merrick Garland, who didn't get a hearing from Senate Republicans last year, there were some tense moments for Democrats.
Your nomination is part of a Republican strategy to capture our judicial branch of government. That is why the Senate Republicans kept this Supreme Court seat vacant for more than a year.
In these opening remarks, lawmakers questioned how Gorsuch would handle issues like Roe v. Wade, the Second Amendment, and immigration. Republicans praised him as a staunch follower of the Constitution.
He has the highest level of professional qualifications, including integrity, competence, and temperament.
But it's that same originalist commitment that worries some Democrats, who say that if we still follow the Constitution word for word,
then we would still have segregated schools and bans on interracial marriage. Women wouldn't be entitled to equal protection under the law, and government discrimination against LGBT Americans would be permitted.
At the same time, on the House side, FBI Director James Comey was in the hot seat and confirmed for the first time publicly that his agency is investigating potential links between the Trump campaign and the Russian government.
I have been authorized by the Department of Justice to confirm that the FBI, as part of our counterintelligence mission, is investigating the Russian government's efforts to interfere in the 2016 presidential election.
Comey testified before a congressional hearing dealing with Russian meddling in the presidential election. House Intelligence Chair Devin Nunes said they haven't found any proof of collusion between Russia and the Trump campaign. The head of the FBI and National Security Agency also contradicted President Trump's claims that Obama ordered wiretapping of Trump Tower before the election.
We know there was not a physical wiretap of Trump Tower. However, it's still possible that other surveillance activities were used against President Trump and his associates.
NSA Director Mike Rogers added that they didn't uncover any evidence to back up the president's accusation. Both the FBI and NSA held back in releasing details of their investigation until the reports are complete. And in the Senate,
we hold different political and religious views, but we are united in our love.
The Supreme Court confirmation hearings continue through Thursday, with Gorsuch taking questions on the stand today. A vote in the full Senate is expected in mid-April. In Washington, Jenna Browder, CBN News.
President Trump traveled to Kentucky Monday to sell his health care bill in a state that is divided over exactly what to do. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul says the current Trump plan doesn't go far enough, while the state's other senator, Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, supports it. Heather Sells has this story.
Thousands stood in line in Louisville to hear the president talk about his push to repeal and replace Obamacare, along with other issues like jobs, trade, and immigration reform.
Next to you.
The president is pushing for a vote Thursday in the House, and his remarks last night conveyed a sense of urgency. He promised to move quickly to other important matters, but he says the health care bill has to be passed first.
Finally, we want a very big tax cut, but cannot do that until we keep our promise to repeal and replace the disaster known as Obamacare.
The president blasted Democrats for jamming Obamacare through Congress 7 years ago, but right now he must convince the most conservative House members in his own party of the merits of his plan. So Republicans are adding last-minute revisions to sweeten the deal. They include a more generous tax credit for older Americans and curbing the future growth of Medicaid. The president says the Republican bill will also lower the cost of medicine.
We're going to bring it down. We're going to have a great competitive bidding process. Medicine prices will be coming way down, way down, and that's going to happen fast. And we're just adding that to the bill.
The head of the conservative House Freedom Caucus is already predicting that the repeal plan won't pass. Still, the president plans to court House Republican holdouts on the Hill today. And he promised the Kentucky crowd victory in the end.
Remember, we're going to negotiate, and it's going to go to the Senate and back and forth. The end result is going to be wonderful, and it's going to work great.
Heather Sells, CBN News.
A possible terror attack could be behind a temporary ban on most electronic devices for flights into the United States from 8 Middle Eastern countries. Flights from Cairo, Casablanca, Morocco, Istanbul, Dubai, and Amman, Jordan are among the international restrictions. Experts think intelligence agencies must know of a plot in the works. It almost happened last year when a terrorist used a laptop to blow a hole in a jet taking off from Somalia. In more political news, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson is bypassing a semi-annual meeting with NATO next month in Brussels. Instead, Tillerson will meet with NATO diplomats this week in Washington, D.C. to discuss ways to defeat ISIS. President Trump has been particularly critical of NATO, insisting other countries must pay their fair share. Meanwhile, North Korea is responding to Tillerson's recent visit to South Korea, saying it is capable and ready to respond to, quote, any war which the U.S. wants. A senior White House official told CBN News North Korea was the greatest immediate threat. Israel's defense minister is sending a strong warning to Syrian leaders after the country's military fired anti-aircraft missiles at Israeli jets. The defense minister says the next time the Syrians use their air defense system against our airplanes, we will destroy all of them without thinking twice. Israel hasn't been involved in Syria's civil war, but has repeatedly promised it will not allow the movement of advanced weapons by the terrorist group Hezbollah from Syria to Lebanon. More than 150 Jewish community centers have been the subject of threats in 2017, disrupting the lives of its members, many of whom are children. Amber C. Strong has a look at what lawmakers and Christians are doing now to help.
Jewish cemeteries destroyed. 9 worshipers killed during Bible study.
Parents are having to explain to their kids how they can go to church and feel safe.
And despite condemnation from President Trump,
that while we may be a nation divided on policies, we are a country that stands united in condemning hate.
Places of worship and religion are still the focal point of threats. In 2017 alone, more than 100 Jewish community centers and schools have been the subject of threats. Last week, a Jewish community center in New York was evacuated while children celebrated Purim. John Shapiro, a vice president of the Jewish Community Center of Indianapolis, tells CBN News his faculty received similar threats.
Similar to what's gone on around the country, we've received, over a 13-day period, we received 2 bomb threats.
Just like that JCC in Indianapolis, the one you see behind me is also a daycare and a preschool. Many offer recreational activities for senior citizens, making them home to some of the most vulnerable Americans.
Congressman Benny Thompson tells CBN News the government has a responsibility to help protect members of the faith community.
The unfortunate situation at Mother Emanuel Church in Charleston basically has said no institution is off limits to direct domestic terrorism.
He says a new bill that's making its way through the House will help protect against that vulnerability.
Our bill is to allocate $30 million through the Department of Homeland Security to help those nonprofits and churches and other things assess their vulnerability.
Thompson says House Bill 1486 will provide grants which can be used to help churches and other places of faith beef up security, implement training, and install cameras to provide an extra layer of protection. Government help aside, evangelical Christians are also stepping up. As the Times of Israel reports, Christians in Alabama are working to raise $100,000 to help the JCC of Birmingham tighten up its security. Shapiro says he's seen similar love from the Indianapolis community.
And the support since these things have happened has been incredibly strong, incredibly positive from all around the city, and that's really wonderful to see.
But despite that outpouring of love, the JCC there is taking precautions to keep its members safe by training and practicing for any emergency that could arise. Amber C. Strong for CBN News in Washington.
Still ahead, spreading the gospel. Hear from a couple who left everything behind here in the United States to bring the good news to Taiwan. At least 75 people in Peru have been killed, and the death toll is expected to continue to rise following days of intense rains that have caused floods and mudslides. Thousands are now homeless. More than half of the country is under a state of emergency. Officials say floods are the worst the country has seen in 30 years, and more rain is expected to fall. Many Americans enjoy traveling to Asian countries, a popular tourist spot in the island of Taiwan. One American couple's Taiwan visit lasted longer than they anticipated. Their initial sightseeing journey turned into a long-term ministry. Mung Fai Lee has this story.
Near the Yangtze River, it's a small island nation, enriched by unique culture and people. Empire's treasures and tradition make Taiwan an attractive tourist spot. Buddhism and Taoism are the major religions of Taiwan. Many millennials believe those gods can provide them with inner peace and guaranteed success at work and home.
Most of the people go to temple, they look for good luck and fortune.
Temples in Taiwan are full of magical charms, fascinating designs, and traditional symbols. Churches are hard to be found in the northeast region of the island, and Christianity is nearly non-existent. Of Taiwan's 23 million people, 6% are Christians, more than 28% follow Buddhism, less than 3% claim no religion at all.
Now let's have a mini prayer.
These American Christians are on the move. Their mission? Introducing the Taiwanese to Christ. Richard Roberts and his wife Jessie moved to Taiwan from America's Georgia. During their first trip in 2004, they found out that some people had never heard of Jesus.
They don't have a lot of information on Christ and how Christ is that Savior and can be their salvation.
Then, after some research, they made a big decision: planting churches for Jesus.
And share the gospel in a home setting, in a school setting, in a library setting, or whatever kind of setting they can find in a park or wherever, to just share the gospel, let people see Jesus in them.
Roberts familiarized himself with the local people, telling them about Jesus. He and a team of American Christians traveled from one place to another to recruit more helpers.
They can teach English, they can share the gospel, they can share their faith, they can become good friends with some of the local kids and teenagers there. And then, of course, our hope is that when that friendship is built, that they would start bringing them to the churches that we are also planting at the same time.
Richard's daughter is excited to serve Jesus in Taiwan.
I just felt like I was so happy and grateful to my parents that they moved us here to become missionaries, because I felt like, I got to wake up, every day and anticipate like different things that God was doing in our lives.
Gradually, younger Taiwanese are experiencing church. For many of them, Jesus only belongs to the West. Some Americans have left their homes and assist in the mission.
This is in South Georgia, and I just thought, okay, God, I'm being called to the Asian people, and I love it. I absolutely love it here. I love the culture. I love the people.
Lisa and her team often play games and share food with the kids. The children always have a great time. Over time, the church began to develop bigger goals. They started to recruit students from U.S. colleges and universities. American students were inspired by the Roberts. They believed the Lord put them in this ministry for special purposes.
God gave me a dream of me riding a bike in Taiwan. So I came on over to Taiwan. Figured that'd be kind of silly not to.
In addition, the staff understands this is an opportune time for Taiwanese to hear about Christ.
Gospel is really important here because the people are lost. They might do kind acts because they think that's going to get them into heaven, but without Jesus and proclaiming that he's their savior, it's not going to do them any good. So it's just really hurtful to see people trying to be good, thinking they're going to get to heaven, but in the end, they may not.
Nothing can replace their faith in the Lord and dedication to the ministry. In the long run, besides their hard work and dedication, Roberts and the team believe prayer will change lives of millions in Taiwan. Mengfei Li, CBN News.
Up next, say goodnight to sleepless nights of best-selling author Harvey Karp busts the myths that are keeping you and your baby awake. Parents know all too well about the sleepless nights that come with a new baby, but that lack of sleep is no laughing matter. It can cause some serious problems for both the children and the parents. Now, as Lori Johnson reports, there's new hope, according to America's most popular pediatrician.
Missy and Brandon Peters adore their new son, Lennox. It's just the lack of sleep that came with him that has them frazzled.
It's really challenging and a bit frustrating.
Most people think being a new parent means you're exhausted all the time, but it doesn't have to be that way. That's according to pediatrician Harvey Karp, who has helped millions of parents, including celebrities Michelle Pfeiffer, Pierce Brosnan, and Madonna. In his new book, The Happiest Baby Guide to Great Sleep, Dr. Karp clears up some myths passed down by many generations.
Should I try to be quiet so that way he doesn't wake up?
Myth number 1, babies should sleep in silence.
It's actually one of the biggest misconceptions we have about babies. Everyone thinks you got to tiptoe around the baby sleeping, but actually in the womb, it's a very kind of a dynamic world for babies. And the sound inside is louder than a vacuum cleaner 24/7. So to bring a baby into a quiet room is actually weird for them.
So give your baby some white noise as loud as a shower, which as a bonus drowns out other household noise.
Is there a specific white noise that works best with babies and maybe makes them a bit more comfortable at night?
You want a rumbly sound, that's like a train or a plane, that kind of a sound that kind of puts you to sleep. And you play that all night long for the entire first year of life.
How can we lengthen the amount of time that he sleeps at night?
Myth number 2, some babies sleep through the night.
You know how people say babies, my baby sleeps all night long. Well, no baby sleeps all night long. Every baby wakes up 3 or 4 times a night. But you wouldn't know it if they're able to put themselves to sleep. If they can't put themselves to sleep, then they're calling for you 3 times.
So how do you teach a child to put himself back to sleep? Check out the next myth.
I usually nurse him right before bed, and sometimes, well, most of the time, he falls asleep in my arms. Should we just slip him into bed?
Myth number 3, never wake a sleeping baby.
Nowadays, a lot of parents are told, don't let your baby fall asleep in your arms or at the breast, because if you slide him into bed asleep, he never really learns the skill of how to put himself to sleep in the middle of the night. And that's kind of true. But on the other hand, you can't keep a baby from falling asleep in your arms. And it's the most beautiful thing you ever do with your baby.
The good news is you can do both. Let your baby fall asleep in your arms and teach him to fall asleep on his own.
So when you slide him into bed, you wake him up a little bit, which I know sounds like, are you crazy? I would never do that. But here's the reason that you do it. You feed him. You've got the white noise playing about as loud as a shower, and you've got him swaddled up. So when he wakes up, he's kind of drunk from the milk anyway.
Wake him up just a little with a gentle jiggle or a light scratch on the bottom of his foot.
Want his eyes open 5 or 10 seconds, because in that 10 seconds, he's going to start to learn how to put himself to sleep at night.
So by putting these myths to bed, baby and parents can sleep well. That way, everyone is happier and healthier. Lori Johnson, CBN News.
Family's much better when we all get enough sleep. Stay with us. There's more of CBN NewsWatch straight ahead. It is time now for your Tuesday Tweetable. I hope this message of encouragement inspires you as you go through your day and your evening. Rest in every moment, knowing God never does, and He is always working on your behalf. That means there is no need for worry or fear when you are resting in faith. And that faith is not in your own ability, but in the ability of your Heavenly Father. With that word, make this a terrific Tuesday. That is going to do it for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. You can find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care most about at cbnnews.com. We'd love to hear what you think about the stories you've seen here today. You can do that by emailing newswatch@cbn.com or reach out to us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hope you'll join us again right here next time. Make this a terrific Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow.